Welcome back to the channel Blavasi here with Genie right over there. Yes, we're over here talking today about something that's been said to be a conspiracy theory, but it doesn't seem that it is a theory. It kind of seems like it's a conspiracy fact, which is that the Democratic Party is probably trying to use illegal voters and just illegals in general to win future elections, I'll say. Now, why do I say this? Why, Blavasi, do you say this? Because, well, recently in New York, there was a bill that I think was passed into law to allow, I think it was about 800,000 illegal voters to vote in local elections. Not federal elections, but local elections. But you know, they
gotta start somewhere.
Gotta start somewhere, right? So right now it's local elections. Tomorrow it's federal elections. So, you know, they'll just somehow add that in there. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, there are a lot of states. I forget the number. I counted it and I can't remember the number, but it was a good chunk of states, including our state, which is North Carolina, that don't really have ID requirements for voting, which kind of leaves the door open not only for people to vote that probably shouldn't be voting, but also leaves the door open for just, you know, the word that I'm not sure if I can say on YouTube, but I'll say fraud. You know, so voter fraud. So it leaves the gate open for that. Now, another thing that has happened in the recent year or two or three or four is that there's been a lot of illegals coming over the border, and now that there's this new president in the White House, the border has been kind of wide open. It's been just like wide open. There have been thousands upon thousands upon thousands of illegals coming over the border, just unchecked. And what is Joe Biden doing? Oh, instead of sending them back to their country to wait and do it the proper way, he's just shipping them into the country by boat, by plane, just whatever.
He's like, yeah, get all you illegals in here so you can vote Democratic, because you're gonna be like broke, so you're gonna be voting for shit to get more. Basically, you're gonna be asking for shit.
Yep. And with that, right? I really don't understand how people are trying to say that this is a conspiracy theory. Like, I mean, I guess if you're not paying attention and you don't know what's going on, then it's very simple and easy for you to be like, oh, that's not happening. What are you talking about? I didn't hear it on the news because the news didn't tell me that's happening. So the news knows what's proper, even though I'm pretty sure those same exact people will find a story somewhere that they don't like to hear and then say that's not true. But you know what I'm saying, emotions over the fact. But the pure fact that when somebody says we should have an ID in order to vote, and then people are against that, and then they use black people as their little scapegoat as to why we shouldn't have voter ID, that seems very effed up, I'm gonna say. Yeah, because totally. I mean, to be honest, I feel as if I probably should be able to sue the state for racism. I mean, that was their reason for taking the ID thing out. That was literally their reason, because North Carolina has a racist past. So
all you got to do is find an attorney that's willing and able.
Right, and the money.
Dude, I mean, just tell him, be like, bro, you know you can make some money off of this shit. So like, let me pay you when we win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the pro bono. But yes, the Democrats are definitely. This is definitely what they're doing, in my opinion. And once again, if this wasn't their thing, you know what I'm saying, if they weren't trying to do this, then once again, why are they using black people as their little
Because
scapegoat?
it's easy,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
people are like, don't talk about black people. Don't even do anything about black people, white people. Just leave them alone. Don't say anything. Everybody ignore that corner of the room. So they're like, whoa, we can fucking walk around in this corner of the room and nobody even fucking notices us. It's black people, man. We can't, and what you're saying, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically why they're using it as a
Yes,
scapegoat.
because if anybody says that, you're racist.
Exactly.
And if you're a black person who says it, then you can't actually say that word, can I? No, I can say you're a coon. You're an Uncle Tom. But you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you can only be for it. If you're against it, then you're a derogatory term, and you have to be for it. But no, that's never made sense to not have a verification to see who is the person doing the voting. You know what I'm saying? That's never made sense.
The
And
only
it doesn't
reason
make
is
sense.
clearly so that you can get people who can't do that to vote.
Yes.
Because
definitely.
last time they tried to do that and they were like, oh, there's not enough people. We gotta make more. Instead of trying to convince people to be Democratic, we just let people come into the country that we know are gonna vote Democratic.
Yeah, what they do is like they're like, hey, we're the Democratic Party. We're gonna let you into the country. You can totally come into the country totally for free. You don't have to do it the legal way. Just come in. And then they're like, oh yes, the Democrats, they're so awesome. They let us do all this stuff and we got into the country. Then you give them a bunch of money. They're gonna be like, this is the party that I'm gonna vote for whenever I get the ability to vote. And then you're like, oh, well, here's the ability to vote. So, you know exactly who to vote for, don't you? Because you know those racist Republicans, they're not going to give you this money. They're going to tell you to get the fuck out of this country. And I mean, I'm not a Republican. I'm neither one of them because they're both flipping
That's
corrupt.
because they know it's like, dude, you gotta fucking. There's rules, man. What the fuck?
But they don't care about that. All they care
I
about
know,
is
dude. It's like, bro, everybody's gotta pay.
gimme. So it's like the people who come over, I'll say this, the people who come over to the country in that fashion, they don't have the concept of doing things the right way or the hard work of like, hey, you come into the country, now I've got to work hard to, you know, make something, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm not saying all of them are like that. There are some people that are good and some people that aren't good. But you know what I'm saying? But if you're going to go and take that route instead of going the legal route, then you're probably not going to really care about the country in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't care enough to come in the correct way, you aren't going to care about the rules and the laws of the country once you're in here. You're just going to be like, give me free stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, some people, maybe they came over here because they're like, fuck this. And then they come over and they find a job. And they're like, you know, good people.
Yes, but once again, they're not legal. So that job that they have is
And
probably
that's
a job
the
that
thing.
could go into
And
somebody
then,
else.
exactly. That's the thing it comes down to is it's not about, oh, they're just trying to make a living. What if I stole your shit? I'm just stealing it so I can take care of my kid.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
It
What you
doesn't
did
matter.
was against the law. We don't do that.
And then you also have to think about this, right? The people who came over the correct way, you know what I'm saying? How did those people think?
There's a correct way to do it.
Now, it takes years to, you know, go through the process.
Which sucks,
it's very difficult.
but it's the law.
And you know why it sucks? You know why it takes so long? Is because they have to deal with the illegal people coming. That's why it takes so long for the people that want to come in legally, because they also have to deal with the illegal ones coming in. So if they didn't have to deal with all of the illegal people, then the process would probably be slightly shorter at least. It wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? They can take the resources from the illegal entries and then move that over to the legal ones and then shorten the process, make it easier, maybe not easier, you know what I'm saying? Because you still kind of want to make sure that everybody coming in is like,
dude, I just
legit.
realized that like getting rid of illegal people would make more jobs for people to have, and that would not only give people jobs, but there'd be less people for the goods to have to be divided with. So it's like the economy would be better.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, because what it is, right? When the people come over illegally, lots of them, I'm gonna say, are dependent on the system. So they get all this like extra money from the government. So if all that money didn't go to them and maybe went to other stuff that would be helpful for people who actually are supposed to be here, that would help us, you know what I'm saying, like the country. You know, also, once again, the whole thing that I said with the whole, if you came over here illegally, you kind of, like your first act of being in the country was illegal. So you're probably not going to care too much about the rest of the laws, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, hey, when I go to vote, I'm just going to vote for the one that's going to allow me to keep living off of the government. And then they're not going to actually help the country grow because they're just going to be taking from the government, basically, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, geez, can you just not, could you just like come in the legal way? Or our government could be like, no, I mean, they were doing that. And then, you know, a certain election happened. The fairest, most secure election of all time, except for every other one where the Democrats didn't win. All of those were fraudulent elections. They cheated, and you know they weren't correct, and somebody needs to look into those, because Hillary Clinton was supposed to win in 2016. Let's say new president comes in that isn't a Democrat, and they're like, okay, we got to get rid of all these illegals now. Ooh, that's going to be very difficult, because there's over, like, I think it's like a few million, like 2 million or something that came over in the past like year or so now. And that's a lot of people to have to deport. How long is that going to take? How are you going to find all of them? Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe, like
Like,
please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.
fuck, I tried to cuss, man.